Hello, welcome to the Tiresias Twins YouTube channel. For all things puzzle and quiz related, I hope you enjoy the SYTYKA quiz. SYTYKA stands for So You Think You Know About. The quizzes will cover one of 10 categories, and each quiz will be on a specific topic within that category. The categories are history, sport, music, science, film, literature, television, my worst subject, geography, nature, and finally art. The category for this quiz is art. The format for the quizzes will always be the same. 15 multiple choice questions with the answer following each question. The incorrect options can also provide some interesting facts which I hope you find appealing. The specific quiz number will appear on the top left hand corner of the video. This is quiz Q10001 in the art category. Please keep a note of the quiz number and also note your score. You can log your score and see how you're doing month to month against both yourself and others. So, you think you know about famous pictures and artists. Here we go, and once again, the best of luck to you. Question 1. The Kiss. Name the artist of this famous painting. Is it A. Gustav Klimt, B. Pablo Picasso, C. Salvador Dali, or D. Edvard Munch? Your 6 seconds thinking time starts now. And the answer is A. Gustav Klimt. The Kiss was first exhibited in 1908, but under the title The Lovers. It now hangs at the Österreichische Galeria Belvedere in Vienna. Klimt died in 1918 from pneumonia following a stroke, aged just 55. His paintings continue to attract some of the highest prices at auction. Picasso was a Spanish-born painter, sculptor, printmaker, ceramicist and even theatre designer. He was one of, if not the most influential artist of the 20th century. Famous paintings include The Old Guitarist, Girl Before a Mirror and of course Guernica in 1937. Dali was born in Catalonia in 1904 and became the leading exponent of surrealism. Like Picasso, his creative genius was not just confined to canvas, but included film, sculpture, graphic arts and even literature. Norwegian painter Munch is of course best known for his 1893 work The Scream. Between 1893 and 1910, he produced 2 painted versions and 2 pastel versions of the work, as well as a number of prints. Question 2. Mona Lisa. Where is this famous picture housed? Is it A. the State Hermitage Museum, St. Petersburg, B. the Prado Museum, Madrid, C. the Uffizi Gallery, Florence, or D. the Louvre Museum in Paris? Your 6 seconds thinking time starts now. And the answer is, of course, D. the Louvre in Paris. Mona Lisa, or La Gioconda, is without doubt the most famous painting in the world. It is an oil painting on a white poplar panel, believed to have been painted between 1503 and 1506. It was acquired by King Francis I of France in 1519, after Leonardo's death. Interestingly, the Prado Museum does have a version of the Mona Lisa. It has been given the title Woman by Leonardo da Vinci's Hand. Although most people believe it to be one of Leonardo's pupils, the restored painting is from a slightly different perspective than the original. The Hermitage also has a version of the Mona Lisa. Many refer to it as Gioconda with columns, reflecting the 2 columns in the rear panorama, which do not appear in Da Vinci's original. It is unclear when this homage was painted, but guesses range from 1550 to 1680, long after Leonardo's death in May 1519. Question 3. Self-portrait. Who is this a self-portrait of? Is it A. Salvador Dali, B. Claude Monet, C. Vincent van Gogh, or D. Pablo Picasso? Your 6 seconds thinking time starts now. And the answer is C. Vincent van Gogh. Good job Boris Becker wasn't one of the choices. It is thought this is one of about 32 self-portraits by Van Gogh over a 10-year period. This particular portrait is believed to have been painted in 1887 in oil on board and is owned by the Art Institute of Chicago. Question 4. the Fighting Temeraire. This image appears on which UK banknote? Is it A, the £5 note, B, the £10 note, C, the £20 note, or D, the £50 note? Your 6 seconds thinking time starts now. And the answer is C, the £20 note. Like all denominations, the £20 note celebrates a famous British historical figure, in this case J.M.W. Turner, 1775 to 1851. His iconic painting is featured along with a quote attributed to Turner in 1818, "Light is therefore colour." Winston Churchill appears on the £5 note and has done since 2016. There is also a view of the Palace of Westminster, alongside a famous quote from the wartime era, "I have nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears and sweat." The £10 note features Jane Austen and has done since 2017. There is an illustration of Elizabeth Bennet, and below her is Godmersham Park House, the estate owned by Jane Austen's brother. The banner across the side says, "I declare, after all, there is no enjoyment like reading," which is a quote from Miss Bingley in Pride and Prejudice. Since 2021, the £50 note has featured Alan Turing. The illustrations are mathematical tables, computer machines and technical drawings designed and built by Turing. The quote, "This is only a foretaste of what is to come and only the shadow of what is going to be," is a quote taken from Turing's interview by The Times in 1949. Question 5. American Gothic. When was this iconic scene painted? Was it A, 1890, B, 1910, C, 1930, or D, 1950? Your 6 seconds thinking time starts now. And the answer is C, 1930. Grant Wood's iconic oil-on-beaverboard painting, American Gothic, depicts a Midwestern farmer and his wife, or possibly daughter, standing in front of their home. Interestingly, the people were modelled after Grant's sister, Nan Wood Graham, and Byram Keeby, the Wood family's dentist. The house is based on the architecture Wood saw in Eldon, Iowa. As with the Van Gogh self-portrait, American Gothic is on display at the Art Institute of Chicago. Question 6. The Last Supper. In which European city does this famous image reside? Is it A, Madrid, B, Rome, C, Barcelona, or D, Milan? Your 6 seconds thinking time starts now. And the answer is D, Milan. Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper is a mural, i.e. painted directly on the wall of the refectory of the convent at Santa Maria delle Grazie in Milan. The Last Supper measures 4.6 metres by 8.8 metres, approximately 15 feet by 29 feet. The scene depicts the moment just after Jesus announces that one of his apostles will betray him. Question 7. Wham! One of the most famous paintings of the pop art genre, but who painted it? Was it A, Andy Warhol, B, Roy Lichtenstein, C, Richard Hamilton, or D, Peter Blake? Your 6 seconds thinking time starts now. And the answer is B, Roy Lichtenstein. Roy Lichtenstein, 1923 to 1997, was an American artist whose pieces were inspired by popular advertising and comic books. His work seemed to explore the relationship between fine art, advertising and consumerism. Wham! Was first exhibited at the Leo Castelli Gallery in New York City in 1963 and purchased by the Tate Gallery in London in 1966. It remains on display at the Tate Modern in London. Andy Warhol, 1928 to 1987, like Lichtenstein, is considered one of the most important American artists of the second half of the 20th century. His studio in New York, The Factory, was known as a gathering place for intellectuals and bohemians alike. His best-known works include silkscreen paintings of Campbell's soup cans in 1962 and, of course, the Marilyn diptych in 1962. Richard Hamilton, 1922 to 2011, was an English painter and collage artist. His early work in 1955 and 1956, including Just What It Is That Makes Today's Home So Different, So Appealing, are considered by many to be amongst the earliest forms of pop art. He is also known for producing the cover design and poster collage for the Beatles' White Album in 1968. Sir Peter Thomas Blake is another English pop artist and, like Richard Hamilton, has a Beatles connection, Blake being the co-creator of the sleeve design for the 1967 album Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. He also worked on albums covers for The Who and designed the single cover for Band Aid. Question 8. Girl with Balloon. This Banksy painting, based on his murals around London, sold at Sotheby's for £1 million after fees on the 5th of October 2018. As the hammer fell, the picture began to shred itself, creating a new work of art named by the artist. What did he call it? Was it A. Shredded Feet, B. Love is in the Bin, C. Broken Heart, or D. Bursting the Balloon of Capitalism? Your 6 seconds thinking time starts now. And the answer is B. Love is in the Bin. Banksy's representatives, Pest Control, deactivated the shredder and renamed the piece to Love is in the Bin. It certainly can't be called Bursting the Balloon of Capitalism, as 3 years later Sotheby's again sold the picture, now identified as an art installation, with the tagline, "The first artwork in history to have been created live during an auction." It sold for £18,582,000, or about $25 million. Question 9. The Creation of Man. Michelangelo's masterpiece, painted between 1508 and 1512, resides where? Is it A. in the Archbasilica of St. John Lateran in Rome, B. St. Mark's Basilica in Venice, C. Santa Maria del Fiore in Florence, or D. Sistine Chapel, Vatican City? Your 6 seconds thinking time starts now. And the answer is D. in the Sistine Chapel, Vatican City. The Sistine Chapel is named after Pope Sixtus IV. The ceiling was commissioned by Pope Julius II. Prior to Michelangelo's work on the ceiling, the walls had been painted by several leading artists of the day, including Sandro Botticelli. Following Michelangelo's work on the ceiling, Raphael was commissioned to produce a series of tapestries to cover the lower third of the walls. The Archbasilica of St. John Lateran is the mother of all Catholic churches and the official seat of the Bishop of Rome. Founded in 324 AD, it is the oldest public church in Rome, although it has undergone many iterations throughout its long history. St. Mark's Basilica is at the eastern end of St. Mark's Square and is attached to the Doge's Palace. Chronicles state that Venetian merchants brought back the body of St. Mark from Alexandria in Egypt to Venice in 828 or 829 AD. The Doge insisted that a church be erected to St. Mark in order to house the holy relics. The church has undergone several iterations, with the main structure, the Contarini Church, being completed in the mid-11th century. As Venice prospered, the church received more embellishments, including the famous horses of the Hippodrome of Constantinople, spoils from the Fourth Crusade. Santa Maria del Fiore, or perhaps better known as the famous Duomo of Florence, was started in 1296 and completed in 1436, with Brunelleschi's magnificent dome financed by Cosimo de' Medici. The cathedral was consecrated by Pope Eugene IV on the 25th of March 1436, the first day of the year according to the Florentine calendar. Question 10. A Bigger Splash. Bradford's own David Hockney painted this in which year? Was it A. 1967, B. 1971, C. 1972, or D. 1998? As always, your 6 seconds thinking time starts now. And the answer is A. 1967. The large pop art painting, A Bigger Splash, was completed in 1967. It is just over 2.4 metres by 2.4 metres. Unsurprisingly, with the beautiful cloudless sky and palm trees, it was painted in California between April and June of 1967. It was bought by the Tate in London in 1981. Mr. and Mrs. Clark and Percy was completed in 1971. It depicts the fashion designer Ozzie Clark and the textile designer Celia Birtwell in their flat in Notting Hill Gate, just after they got married. The white cat depicted in the painting was actually named Blanche. Percy was another of their cats. However, Hockney preferred the name Percy. It is currently housed at the Tate Britain in London. May 1972 saw Hockney complete the 7-foot by 10-foot portrait of an artist, in brackets, pool with 2 figures. In October 2018 it sold to a private buyer for $90.3 million, at that time the highest price ever paid at auction for a painting by a living artist. 1998 saw the completion of Garraby Hill, a beautiful part of God's Own County, Yorkshire. The painting can be viewed at the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston. Question 11. Composition 2, 1930. A very typical composition by this artist. What is his name? Is it A. Jackson Pollock, B. Pete Mondrian, C. Mark Rothko, or D. Francis Bacon? Your 6 seconds thinking time starts now. And the answer is B. Pete Mondrian. Pete Mondrian was a Dutch painter and pioneer of abstract art. Moving away from figurative painting, he experimented with many styles, eventually hitting on his modern, pure art form in the mid to late 1910s. He eventually limited his palette to 3 primary colours, red, blue and yellow, 3 primary values, black, white and grey, and 2 primary directions, horizontal and vertical. Mondrian, born in 1872, died in New York City in 1944, aged 71. Paul Jackson Pollock, 1912 to 1956, was an American painter and major figure in the abstract expressionist movement. His drip technique has become famous and still divides people to this day. Pollock struggled with alcohol issues, and in 1956, aged just 44, he died in an alcohol-related single-car incident. Mark Rothko was another American abstract painter. He is best known for his colour field paintings, depicting irregular rectangular blocks of colour. He produced these from 1949 up to his death in 1970. Francis Bacon was a Dublin-born figurative painter, known for his raw, unsettling imagery. Question 12. Who am I? A French painter born on the 14th of November 1840 in Paris, raised in Le Havre, Normandy. Generally believed to be the founder of Impressionism. Famous series of works include Rouen Cathedral series in the 1890s, Houses of Parliament series 1899 to 1901, and, perhaps giving it away, Water Lilies. Is it A. Edouard Manet, B. Claude Monet, C. Pierre-Auguste Renoir, or D. Edgar Degas? Your 6 seconds thinking time starts now. And the answer is B. Claude Monet. In 1883, Monet moved to Giverny in northern France. Here he undertook a major landscaping project which included the iconic water lily pond. Monet's ambition to paint the great outdoors meant painting the same scene in various lights and changing seasons, hence his painting of Rouen Castle and the many water lily scenes. From about 1915, Monet developed cataracts and was reluctant to have them surgically removed. He continued to paint, but his perception of colour suffered. His paintings became increasingly darker. Finally, in 1923, he underwent cataract surgery. On being able to see the true colours again, he began to destroy canvases from the pre-operative period and retouch others. Monet died of lung cancer in 1926. His home and gardens were bequeathed to the French Academy of Fine Arts by his son Michel in 1966. His home and gardens were open to the public in 1980. Question 13. René Magritte. The Belgian surrealist René Magritte produced a number of images featuring this setting and this character, but what name is given to this picture? Is it A. Golconda, B. The Son of Man, C. Man in the Bowler Hat, or D. The Great War on Facades? Your 6 seconds thinking time starts now. And the answer is B. The Son of Man. The Son of Man was painted in 1964. It was auctioned by Christie's in 1998 and bought by a private collector for $5.4 million. The image plays a prominent role in the 1999 version of the Thomas Crown Affair. The Man in the Bowler Hat is another Magritte painting from 1964, but this time the man's face is obscured by a white dove flying past. A dove of peace, perhaps? The Great War on Facades is a heavily symbolic piece by Magritte, again from 1964. This time the bowler-hatted man is replaced by an Edwardian lady with parasol and her beauty obscured by the bouquet of flowers. In 1953, Magritte painted Golconda. The many bowler-hatted men appear like raindrops, although no movement, up or down or otherwise, is implied. This picture is part of the Merrill collection in Houston. Question 14. Sitting Girl with Duck. Like many painters, this artist's work has become highly collectible after her death. What is her name? Is it A. Mary Cassatt, B. Georgia O'Keeffe, C. Frida Kahlo, or D. Paula Rego? Your 6 seconds thinking time starts now. And the answer is C. Frida Kahlo. Frida Kahlo was a Mexican painter who was inspired by her homeland and employed a naive folk art style. She was the first Mexican artist to be featured in the Louvre when they purchased her painting, The Frame, in 1939. Sitting Girl with Duck was painted in 1928. American painter and printmaker Mary Cassatt lived most of her adult life in France. She was a friend of Edgar Degas and exhibited alongside the Impressionists. American painter Georgia O'Keeffe is best known for her large format paintings, especially flowers and bones, and whatever interpretation you wish to place on their symbolism. Portuguese visual artist Paula Rego worked and lived in London. She was an exhibiting member of the London Group, along with David Hockney. Final question, question 15. The Ambassadors. This 1533 painting by Hans Holbein the Younger of Jean de Dinteville and Georges de Selve is called The Ambassadors. It incorporates one of the best-known examples of anamorphosis. The object at the bottom of the picture becomes a detailed view of a skull when viewed from the correct angle. But where is the picture housed? Is it A. the National Gallery, London, B. Le Louvre, Paris, C. Metropolitan Museum, New York City, or D. Rijksmuseum, Amsterdam? For the final time, your 6 seconds start now. And the answer is A. the National Gallery in London. They are, of course, all fantastic museums and well worth a visit. The National Gallery in London houses famous paintings like Titian's Bacchus and Ariadne, Cézanne's Bathers, Charles I's portrait by Van Dyck, and one of the sunflowers by Vincent van Gogh. The Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City is the largest museum in the Western Hemisphere, more than 2 million items, including Botticelli, Rembrandt, Degas and Rodin. The Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam has probably the greatest collection of the 17th century Dutch masters, including Frans Hals, Vermeer and Rembrandt. Le Louvre, of course, has the Venus de Milo and the Mona Lisa. Mic drop. Well, that's it. Thank you for playing this SYTYKA quiz. I hope you enjoyed it and found some of the answers, and indeed the explanations of the incorrect options, at least quite interesting. Don't forget to keep a note of your score, and of course the SYTYKA quiz number. This is Q10001. There were some tough questions in there. If you scored 9 or more, very well done. This quiz has been rated 1.0 on the Tiresias scale. You may want to know, how am I doing with the SYTYKA quiz against others? Well, you can find out by following this simple process. It's also given in the description under this YouTube video. Number 1. Please subscribe to the channel. Number 2. In order to register your name, click on the register link in the description. You only have to do this once. Number 3. Register a unique name for yourself. Please, nothing rude or offensive to others. Number 4. Receive an email back confirming your quizzing name and allocating you a unique Tiresias Twins number. Number 5. Use your registered name and Tiresias number on the score input form in the description. You can also record the quiz completed and your score. As you complete more of the quizzes, you can see your average and ranking against others. The next art quiz will be Q10002 on Vincent van Gogh, his life and works.